everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I am your host, Rusty Peace. Glad to have you with us. And, well, I'll tell you what, it's been a successful start for the 2015 season for the LMU Fall Athletic teams. We're going to talk about all that tonight. We've got some news within the LMU Athletics Department. We've got, obviously, results from this past weekend's competition for both men's and women's soccer, for volleyball, and, of course, men's and women's cross country. And then a little bit later on tonight, we're going to talk about volleyball. We're going to talk about the home opener, which is Friday night, and, of course, Saturday, and about the success that the team had this past weekend down in Savannah, Georgia, as we'll be speaking with head coach Jenny Michael about the team's 2-1 season start. And I'll tell you what, that if you look at the game scores, very close to being a 3-0 start. So we've got a lot in store for you tonight. We want to remind you to keep up to date on all that's going on with the LMU Athletics. Pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com.
It's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. You love your car or truck? Let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Welcome back. Last weekend, all Lincoln Memorial University fall athletic teams got the season started on the road and at neutral sites, and the LMU women's soccer team was no exception when it got the schedule started on a strong note Friday evening down in Montevallo, Alabama, by taking on the Tigers of the University of West Alabama and capturing a 4-3 victory to move to 1-0 on the year. West Alabama took the early lead only minutes into Friday's season opener by tallying goals by Rihanna Gervitz, who was assisted by Kirsten Riley in the 5th minute, and then solidified their lead less than 2 minutes later when Beth Preston scored off of teammate Haley McDuff's corner kick to take a 2-0 advantage. Lincoln Memorial made up some ground by closing the gap to a goal deficit a little more than 10 minutes later when junior forward Michelle Hunter put the Lady Railsplitters on the scoreboard with a high-arching shot over the UWA keeper from the right side at 18:54 into the first half to make the score 2-1 West Alabama. 10 minutes later, senior midfield forward Maddie Nagy placed a shot into the top left corner of the frame following a deflection by a West Al defender. Nagy's first goal of the season brought the Lady Railsplitters back to even going into the intermission with only 45 minutes to play in regulation. When the second half got underway, Lincoln Memorial and West Alabama battled through a defensive struggle until the Tigers broke that silence when Lady Railsplitter effort failed more than 24 minutes into the second period. Mia Harvey hit the nylon to give UWA a 3-2 lead with just over 20 minutes to play in regulation, putting LMU's back to the wall and again adding urgency for the offensive rally. Finally, with less than 10 minutes to play in regulation, senior forward Olivia Thompson penetrated the frame with help from teammate Claire Leisure, giving LMU the equalizer and tying the match at 3-3. Neither LMU nor West Alabama could find the back of the net throughout the remainder of regulation or during the first overtime period. However, in the 104th minute of the match, during the second overtime period, Leisure's impact to the Lady Railsplitter program was solidified when she scored off a deflected LMU shot to capture the game-winning goal and to give LMU the 4-3 come-from-behind victory. Earlier this week, we talked with head coach Helio D'Anna, and he seemed pleased about his team's effort.
The women really got introduced to college soccer in a hurry this year, especially the new players. You know, I mean, we came out to a tough environment, tough weather conditions, tough situation as far as the logistics because of like the amount of rest in between matches between us comparing to them. But all of that being said, the girls were up for it. You know, I mean, when it comes to West Alabama, one of the top teams, they're going to play the whole year. They really jumped into a lead right away and kind of caught these young girls by surprise with their pace and pressure and aggressiveness. But then we settled into the game. It was critical to get at least one goal back within a certain period of time, which we did. And then from that point on, it was us. It was an even match from that point on. Lots is being said about Claire Leisure that game. She did have a great game. She's fast. She is really, really fast. You know, she reminds me of Becky Thompson back in the day. Actually plays very similar, very strong, very fast, and she was the difference maker.
On Sunday, the Lady Railsplitters were still in Montevallo, Alabama, this time to play host the Falcons from the University of Montevallo. From the opening touch, the final horn of regulation, that's the whole match, if you will, and through the overtime periods, it was clear that neither team's defensive effort would be broken that day as LMU and UM played to a 0-0 tie over 110 minutes and saw only 15 shots on goal. The push with the Falcons puts the Lady Railsplitters at 1-0-1 as they now have until Monday to prepare for their road trip to Cleveland, Tennessee to take on Gulf South Conference opponent Lee University in their third regional match in as many games. The LMU women will then travel to Brevard, North Carolina Wednesday to open the South Atlantic Conference schedule against Brevard College. And the 2015 LMU men's soccer team got the season started with a bang by posting back-to-back season opening wins over West Alabama and Montevallo over the weekend. Friday evening, the Railsplitters opened the year with a 1-0 shutout of the Tigers of West Al to improve to 1-0 on the season. Junior forward George Burns scored the only goal of the match, which turned out to be the game winner in the 68th minute with help from teammate Danilo da Silva. The strike was one of just 3 shots on goal by the Railsplitters, while Montevallo was denied 4 times by Railsplitter freshman goalkeeper Pedro Ozzie, who recorded 4 saves to go along with his first shutout of his career. On Sunday, the LMU men took on the Falcons of Montevallo. UM is a team that is no stranger to Lincoln Memorial. In 2007, the Railsplitters ended Montevallo's run at the NCAA Division II National Championship in the semifinals of the national tournament and have only met a handful of times since then, with LMU emerging as victor nearly all of those occasions. Such was the case Sunday as LMU senior midfield forward Pedro Villa put the Railsplitters ahead in the 39th minute on an unassisted goal for the 1-0 lead. Following the half, again, it was the Railsplitters that penetrated the frame, this time with Villa assisting teammate Leonardo da Silva in the 72nd minute to put LMU on top 2-0. Montevallo wasn't able to generate any offense until late in the match in the 76th minute when Sergio Gonzalez scored with a header on a pass from Serjan Ducevic, who by then the damage had been done and the Railsplitter defense proved solid, recording the team's second win of the season and remaining undefeated at 2-0. LMU outshot the Falcons 9-3 in shots on goal, while Pedro Ozzie recorded 2 saves in the 90-minute effort. And again, we talked to Helio D'Anna about the wins.
The manner concerned, we really had to coordinate a few things. One of them being that we played on, let me think here, Friday evening, whereas Montevallo played on Thursday afternoon, so they had a 24-hour rest longer than we did. The weather was phenomenally hot and humid, and 24 hours less of rest really made a difference. Montevallo came in on a high pressure. I don't think they forget the past history that we've had with them, so that every time they step on the field against us, it's almost like they wanna bring that to the equation. So it was very physical, lots of yellow cards, lots of rough fouls. And but the guys really weathered the storm. And then when we put the first goal in, really, we became a counterattack team. We had an opportunity to put 2-3, and we did the second. We should have put the third and fourth before they put the first one in, and they put one goal in. I believe it was late in the second half. And then the game became a little nervous because of the nature of the beast. But we still, during that period of time, and it was 2-1, had 3 breakaways. Leo really never misses those face-to-face with the keeper. But it is what it is. We still won.
The Railsplitters travel to Lees-McRae this Saturday for another regional match before returning to Western North Carolina on Wednesday to open the South Atlantic Conference schedule against the Tornadoes of Brevard College. Saturday's match in Banner Elk, North Carolina with the Bobcats is set for a 3 p.m. first touch. And over to cross country. Over the weekend, junior Lady Railsplitter cross country member Whitney Elliott of La Follette, Tennessee, picked up where she left off a year ago by placing runner-up in the field of 60 participants to lead Lincoln Memorial's women's cross country program to the 4th place finish in the 2015 season opener at the 35th annual Swanee Invitational on Saturday in Swanee, Tennessee. Elliott finished in 2nd place in the 6K event with a time of 23:09.28 and crossed the finish line a full 12 seconds ahead of 3rd place finisher Ashley Lidoff of Rhodes College, while Lee University's Audrey Smith completed the event with a time of 22:52.87 to win the individual competition. Prior to Saturday's race, Elliott had never finished higher than 5th place in a race, and incidentally, her effort over the weekend helped her earn AstroTurf SAC Women's Cross Country Runner of the Week. Congratulations. From a team standpoint, Lee University captured the Swanee Invitational behind Smith's win and 3 additional top 10 performances, while Rhodes finished runner-up with putting 5 people inside the top 10. Lincoln Memorial senior Ontario Belter was the next highest finisher for the Lady Railsplitters in 13th with a time of 25:03.57, while Taylor Grigsby, Uriah Thomas, and Caroline Cravens placed 21st, 23rd, and 24th respectively to round out Lincoln Memorial's presence in the event. Saturday's event marked the 3rd best finish of Grigsby's career with the Lady Railsplitters, falling just short of her 2 previous 16th place runs, while Cravens turns in the 2nd best finish of her career, trailing only her 20th place run in last season's Center Invitational. Earlier this week, we talked with head coach Jeremy Donahue about his team's performance in their opening meet of the season.
I came away positive with the results, that there's going to be more there as we progress through the season and continue to get more intense in the workouts that we bring out. They showed promise, starting with Whitney Elliott. She ran at the front the whole race, was with the leader through the 5K mark. She fell off a little bit the last kilometer, but a good start to her season, finishing 2nd overall. And then coming in behind Tia Belter and Taylor Grigsby had great races in the 2 and 3 spot for us. Real good start to the season for both those. And I think Taylor gave her confidence heading into the season with cross country. She felt better about her performance there. And then in our 4 and 5 spot, I think those ladies in the first race out ran well, but I think they also believe they'll have better performances down the road.
The Lincoln Memorial men's cross-country program also opened its 2015 season by finishing 5th in the annual Swanee Invitational Saturday. The Railsplitters' 5-man roster was comprised entirely of freshman runners competing in their first collegiate race. Lee University won the 8K event, which was hosted at the Swanee Golf Club with 5 top 10 outings, including a top 3 finishers, 3 of those rather. Rhodes College placed well behind Lee in 2nd despite having 4 runners finish in the top 10. The Railsplitters notched 3 top 20s to take 5th for their first race of the season. LMU's Blaine Benitez was 18th with a time of 27:35.03, while Jorge Hernandez took 20th at the 27:39.06 mark. Freshman Brandon Vaughn was 21st overall, but was credited with a 20th place finish in the team on the team event because of an unattached runner earning a spot in the top 20. Vaughn crossed in 27:40.83. Tim Calhoun was 29th with a time of 28:38.62, while Tristan Moore placed 40th with a time of 29:46.48 to round out LMU's race.
Overall, we felt good about the individual performances. Obviously, the team result, we wanted a higher finish. Would have been nice to get a little bit higher finish overall, but scoring 5 freshmen in their first collegiate race in 8K distance. You know, we couldn't be too displeased with what they did. Our top 3 ran a composed race early on, ran together the whole time, and then were able to finish pretty strong over their last 2K and stayed within 5 seconds of each other. So that was a great performance, and probably one of the best performances we've had over the last few seasons for freshmen at the 8K distance. And then Timothée and Tristan in our 4 and 5 spot had solid races. Timothée maybe a little off his game that day, but kept fighting the whole time, and I know he'll look to move closer to our top 3. So again, they showed promise, ran composed this first race out to get the 8K under their belt, but we'll get more aggressive with our race plans as the season progresses and they get more experience under their belt.
This Saturday, both LMU cross-country teams will be in Greenville, South Carolina for the Furman Classic hosted by NCAA Division I Furman University. The event gets underway at 9 a.m. and we'll have results on next week's show as to how both teams finish. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we return, we're going to talk with LMU head coach Jenny Michael about her team's start for the 2015 season and about a couple of big wins that they had over the weekend down in Savannah, Georgia. Stay with us right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back to the show. Over the weekend, head coach Jenny Michael, who joins us in studio. First of all, Coach, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
She and her team traveled to Savannah, Georgia, some stomping grounds that she's quite familiar with, I might add, and picked up a couple of big wins. Now, unfortunately, they did lose the opener against USC Aiken, but they came back to win a 3-0 decision over Erskine and then defeated host team Armstrong Atlantic, the number 25 ranked team in the country, in 5 sets, 3-2. And, Coach, I know that coaches are kind of perfectionists. They kind of like to win them all, but hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, if you'll pardon that phrase.
No, not at all. And to be very honest, I was extremely realistic going into the weekend in that we very easily could have come back 0-3. Not being disrespectful to our team and what we've been doing in our gym, just knowing how tough this tournament was that we were entering in. All 3 teams were regional participants last year in the NCAA tournament. Aiken and Armstrong, respectfully, were picked 1 and 2, for this year in the Peach Belt, and Erskine was picked number 1 in Conference Carolina. So we knew coming in it was going to be really tough competition. And, Friday night we had some jitters. We didn't play like us. We played like a team. We had a lot of new people in there who were still kind of, figuring things out a little bit. And credit to Aiken, they played like a team who had been there and done that. You know, they have a purpose. I know their coach's goal is to not just return to the NCAA tournament, but to go further, you know, than what they have been before. And they played like a team who had that experience and that composure coming back. So that being said, though, it was still, you know, a tough-fought match, especially the first two sets. We had some scoring discrepancy there in the first set. You know, we go from 22-22 to there is an error on the scorebook side. Ends up that we go down 23-21 with no play resulting. You know, that's a tough and a huge momentum change. But no excuses, though. You know, credit to Aiken. They ended up closing out the match in 3 sets. But for us, it was a really good learning opportunity. We talked about afterwards, you know, hey, you know, sometimes you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. So then that was really what we ended up being able to not just figuratively, but literally do. Then on Saturday, you know, we took a step back on Friday with the loss, but we took 2 steps forward, 2 big steps forward on Saturday with, you know, playing Erskine. You know, that was an opportunity to get our first win of the season, kind of feel a little bit better about ourselves. And then coming into Armstrong's match, you know, I know since I've been here, we've never beaten them. And I was speaking with our, you know, sports information department. They weren't sure if we'd ever even beaten a ranked opponent. So for us to really kind of take that step and cross that threshold to be able to now not just compete with teams that are good and considered elite in our region, but actually make that next step forward and being able to get the W against them, that was awesome. That was a big deal.
Yeah, I think when we talked to you last week, you made the statement we could very easily come back 0-3, but
Absolutely.
we could win all 3 of them, which I think you had said maybe have never happened at that point. When you look at the game scores, though, I mean, in reality, 25-22, 25-23, the last one a little bit elevated, 25-17. It could have very easily gone your way had you gotten some breaks.
Absolutely. And again, just, you know, credit to Aiken's team. I mean, they were experienced coming in, and they capitalized on some of our miscues. You know, I mentioned the scoring discrepancy in that first set. You know, then second set, we actually had a huge lead. We were up, I think, like 23-19, and, you know, we just got stuck in a rotation that we couldn't get out of, and Aiken rattles off, you know, however many 6 points and ends up closing out the set. So now, you know, it's a very different feeling going into the third set when you're down 0-2 compared to when you could potentially be up 2-0. But again, we weren't. Aiken closed it out, and we'll look forward to seeing them again later on this season.
A lot of coaches early in the year would shy away from a difficult start like that, difficult schedule. Not your style. You've never done that.
No, not really my style. I mean, our conference is too good for us to go out and play fluffy teams. You know, the goal is for us to be as prepared as we can for our conference, to compete, and, you know, hopefully in the future be able to have an opportunity to be competing realistically, you know, with the Wingates and with some of those top-tier teams, and get back into that to be competing for a conference championship. You know, if we go out and we play a bunch of fluffy teams, that's not going to prepare us for our conference. It's way too strong. We have to fight day in, day out. I know we've talked about before, our conference, we don't have any nights off. So for us to go, you know, do something that's not going to have us competing at the highest level, I just don't feel like that prepares us for what we're going to see for 22 matches out of the year with our conference schedule.
All right, 2 out of 3 opening weekend. You finish with 2 wins. I like that. The last match on Saturday gives you 6 days to prepare for your home opener. A little opportunity to maybe tweak some things that you saw, good and bad, over there. But this weekend, obviously, a big one because you've got not only your home opener, you got conference schedule starting this weekend as well.
Oh yeah, we're right into it right now. Brevard was actually at the same tournament that we were at down there in Savannah, and on Friday particularly, with our match finishing in 3 sets, they ended up being in a barn burner, a 5-setter against Erskine. So we had an opportunity to stick around afterwards and watch them. And, you know, I know they've got a new coach down there, and a big credit to them. You know, they were honestly, watching Brevard was a little bit of inspiration for our team because they were so excited, they got so pumped up, they were so passionate and so energetic. And, you know, our team really used that and said, hey, look, you know, here's another team in our conference. Look how much energy they're bringing. You know, why aren't we playing like that? So, you know, great job to Brevard. They ended up on the short end of it in that 5th set, but they, you know, were really fighting, really competing, and they're going to be a very tough opponent. You know, Brevard's one of those teams, they have nothing to lose. They're out, you know, just to make a name for themselves, and their new coach had a chance to meet her. She's doing a great job down there. And they're going to be doing some really good things really soon.
Coach, less than a minute to go. Obviously, Friday night's your opener against Brevard. Saturday, you've got Lenore Ryan at home. very quickly, if you can, give us the keys to those 2 matches.
Well, for both matches, it'll be a lot about our energy and what we're doing on our side. And I know I've talked of this a lot before. You know, we need to be able to control the ball. We need to be able to serve and serve-receive. I think that if our first ball contact can be on point and our offense has an opportunity to run, we'll have a chance to be very successful this weekend.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Lady Railsplitters, first serve 7 o'clock Friday evening, first serve Saturday 2 p.m., and we'll have all the action right here on the LMU Sports Network. We're back after this.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. And you get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Special thanks to Jenny Michael for joining us in studio here tonight for the show. And clearly a huge weekend for them ahead as they not only play their home opener, but also their South Atlantic Conference openers, and we want to wish them the best luck. For those of you who wish to watch that, you can catch it beginning with pregame coverage at 6:50 p.m. on the LMU Sports Network. We'll have all the live play-by-play. Mike Smith and I will be on the air. I think our director, Thomas Miracle, will be there. Adam Haley, of course, will be out with area high school football, Cumberland Gap, and Claiborne playing this week. Another big event right there, so you might want to go down and check that out. That'll be carried over the LMU Sports Network's 91.3 FM and possibly on 740 AM WCXZ. All right, folks, one other thing out of the LMU Athletics Department. Former Lincoln Memorial University men's assistant basketball coach Cam Wicker has been named assistant athletic director at Lincoln Memorial University. We want to wish him a congratulations and good things to come for he and the LMU Athletics Department with his addition in that capacity. Again, folks, if you'd like to keep up to date on all that's going on with LMU Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. All the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, photographs, video, and much more, the LMU Athletics website. That's all the time we have for tonight. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.